Rain is on the move and it is increasing as temperatures decrease. We'll track both just ahead.
Suspect behind multiple Dollar General store robberies is now behind bars. And a judge has permanently blocked Governor Bevin's order abolishing the University of Louisville board.
This is WKYT News at 4.
Good afternoon to you and welcome to WKYT News at 4. Amber Philpott reporting. Some nasty weather is moving into the bluegrass for the next several days. Take a look. This is a live picture now of downtown Lexington. We're going to see gusty winds, showers and storms and cooler temperatures. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. We were talking about it being blustery.
Yeah.
It's coming, right?
Yeah, it is. And already now, especially just to the west of downtown Lexington, rains are setting in and temperatures are in the process of tanking. We go from 80 into far southeastern Kentucky to 59 degrees right now into Lexington and Frankfort, 58 Covington and Maysville. Can you pick out where the cold front is? My goodness, it really shows up well, doesn't it? Now we put your Defender radar network into motion here and look at the showers and some thunderstorms out there working in from north to south, but the individual showers and storms are coming at you from the southwest. So raining hard here into parts of the BG Parkway, Versailles, Lawrenceburg, up toward Frankfort and Georgetown. A little light shower on top of Richmond. Majority of the action, though, is just now getting in to the north side and the west side of Lexington, Cynthiana, Paris, Georgetown. Over toward the capital city of Frankfort, some gusty showers right on top of you. Here's what we're looking at in the city. That northern split near Masterson Station, Kentucky Horse Park, getting in on the rain. A little farther to the east and northeast, hang in there. It is on the way, and here is that big spin that continues to drop in from north to south. The front is on top of the bluegrass area, but look at those strong thunderstorms around Indianapolis. That's the pattern as we go through the next couple of days. That spin takes up residence on top of Kentucky into Thursday and Friday. It is a busy forecast period, Amber, when I come back here in just a few minutes with an hour-by-hour outlook.
Chris, we'll see you then. Thank you. The suspect in 3 robberies in 2 days has been captured after a chase in southern Kentucky. Berea police say William Hacker robbed the Dollar General on Prince Royal Drive Monday night and 2 other Dollar General stores in Madison County over the past week. As Sean Moody reports, Hacker was identified through surveillance pictures. It's our top story at 4.
There have been several agencies involved in this case. Of course, all the ones up there in Madison County investigating the robberies. And then down here in Laurel County, the London Police Department are the ones who actually initiated that chase. It ended here on the side of the road, not far from the Hal Rogers Parkway. Berea police had just identified William Hacker as the person they were looking for in connection with the Dollar General store robberies when police got word that he'd just been caught in southern Kentucky.
Oh, hang on, guys. They just caught him.
Did it?
Chief said they have caught the guy in London in pursuit.
Police said he had robbed another Dollar General store in Manchester. He was already suspected in 2 robberies, an attempted robbery, and 2 shoplifting incidents across Madison County on Sunday and Monday. The London police chief said one of his officers pulled that black pickup over along the Hal Rogers Parkway. He said Hacker stopped, but then took off again once the officer approached the truck. He said there was a chase, and the truck went into some trees. After a short foot chase and some help from a Laurel County Sheriff's deputy, the chief said officers got Hacker under control and arrested him. Now, so far here out of London, Hacker faces charges of fleeing and evading, assault of a police officer, wanton endangerment, criminal mischief, and resisting arrest. Of course, these other agencies are still investigating. In Laurel County, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Another loss in court today for Republican Governor Matt Bevin. A circuit judge ruled the governor does not have the power to abolish and replace the University of Louisville Board of Trustees. Democratic Attorney General Andy Beshear sued the governor, saying he overstepped his authority when he issued an executive order removing all members of the board. The governor will most likely appeal the ruling to the state Supreme Court. Now, the war of words between the governor and attorney general continues to grow. Take a look at this. Beshear says the governor sent him this text message yesterday telling him his office is becoming an increasing embarrassment to the Commonwealth. We're going to have more on this political feud ahead for you coming up tonight on WKYT News at 6. We're learning more about the man killed in an overnight crash in Scott County. The sheriff says the victim was 36-year-old Wesley Vernon Gross from Stamping Ground. Deputies say Gross was driving on Wood Lake Road near Stamping Ground when he lost control in a curve and hit a plank fence. There were two passengers in the car, Amanda Holland and Patricia Davis. They were taken to UK Hospital. Police say their injuries appear to be non-life threatening. We're working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Hi, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. We have learned a man who was shot in Lexington back in May has died. Skylar Ray was shot in the head outside Saddle Ridge on South Broadway. Ray's friend said that he was trying to break up a fight when he was shot. The Rockcastle County coroner says Ray died this morning at the Respiratory Care Center there. About a week after the shooting, police charged Leslie Parson with assault for the shooting. No word yet if Parson's charges will be upgraded. We'll have more on this story ahead on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. A month after high levels of arsenic were found in the ground along a road in Montgomery County, many people who live there have been moved out. The state relocated several families who live around Long Lane off of US 460. The state gave people living along Long Lane upfront reimbursements for relocating. They say that all but one homeowner chose to do that. They say that woman will not stay at her home full time, only when work is not happening. The state estimates it will take about 90 days to dig around the impacted homes. We'll have more on the issues surrounding the contaminated neighborhood on WKYT News coming up shortly at 4:30. The University of Kentucky tackling the issue of sexual assault head-on through a survey to improve campus safety. The Campus Attitudes Towards Safety, or CATS survey, provides the University of Kentucky with two types of information when it comes to sexual assault. We'll find out how some students feel and if they know what to do if something negative happens to them. This is the second time the survey has been conducted, and the results remained largely consistent. Most students say they feel safe on campus, especially during the day, but there is still room for improvement. We'll have more on the results ahead on WKYT News at 5. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. The world is mourning the loss of former Israeli President Shimon Peres. The 93-year-old had been hospitalized and suffering a major stroke 2 weeks ago. President Obama extended his condolences to the late leader's family last night, describing him as a man who changed the course of human history and never gave up on peace in the Middle East. Another police shooting of an African-American man has sparked protests in a California city just outside of San Diego. This comes after two other police shootings in Tulsa and Charlotte put police in those cities under the microscope. Scott McLean has the report.
I just called for help and you came and killed me.
Moments after the man is fatally shot by police, an onlooker shot this video. A person claiming to be the victim's sister told dispatchers he was mentally ill but unarmed.
I call you guys to come and help, not to kill my brother.
Nearly an hour after that 911 call, police arrived and say the man was acting erratically, walking in traffic, pacing back and forth with his hands in his pockets. One officer pointed a gun at him, the other pointed a taser.
At one point, the male rapidly drew an object from his front pants pocket, placed both hands together on it, and extended it rapidly towards the officer, taking what appeared to be a shooting stance.
A witness gave police cell phone footage of the incident. Police released only this still image from the video showing the moment just before one officer fired a taser, the other a gun. The man was taken to a hospital but died. They did not find a weapon on scene. The shooting has sparked small protests in the city. This comes after recent police shootings of black men in Tulsa and Charlotte have again put police under national scrutiny. Protesters held their own press conference today, many of them calling on the Department of Justice to investigate.
One officer thought it was a taser situation, the other thought it was a lethal force situation.
The veteran officers involved have been put on administrative leave. Police are pledging to be transparent but have not called for a third party to investigate. I'm Scott McLean reporting.
A suspicious package caused some tense moments at Charlotte Police Headquarters. The package was discovered late Monday night. Police evacuated much of the building and blocked off nearby streets. A robot was used to remove the package, and it was taken to a remote area to be investigated. Police have not said what was in that package. The discovery comes amid ongoing protests following the deadly police shooting of Keith Scott last week. The Wells Fargo sales scandal possibly points to an industry-wide problem that's coming up in Money Watch. And Target pharmacy customers are upset about the new pill bottles there. That's ahead coming up. Welcome back in. Wells Fargo agreed to pay $185 million to settle allegations its employees opened millions of accounts without customers' permission to reach aggressive sales targets. The bank fired more than 5,000 bank employees for opening those fake accounts. Omar Villafranca shows us how this may be a symptom of a larger problem in the banking industry. That begins today's Money Watch.
I accept full responsibility for all unethical sales practices in our retail banking business.
John Stumpf was contrite last week as lawmakers quizzed him on Wells Fargo's hyper-aggressive sales tactics. Oscar Garza was a personal banker for a Chase bank outside Dallas. He says aggressive sales tactics aren't just a problem at Wells Fargo.
Deceptive sales trade practices is across the industry. It's systematic. It is not specific to any branch.
Garza says he made under $12 an hour and that the only way to make extra cash was to meet certain sales goals set by managers, even if that meant signing up customers for financial tools they didn't want.
Were they sales goals or were they quotas? Did they have to be met?
There were quotas. They had to be met, and there were consequences for not meeting those quotas.
What were the consequences?
Termination.
He claims a manager in his branch was aware employees used questionable IDs to open accounts.
Never a direct order, but there was definitely, I'm going to turn a blind eye. You do what you need to do to meet that quota.
A spokeswoman for Chase Bank disputed some of Garza's claims, telling CBS News, "We don't have formal quotas that, if not met, would result in termination," adding any manager who would encourage illegal activity and create a negative culture would be terminated.
They have to sell as much as they can at all costs.
Judy Conti works at the National Employment Law Project, which compiled a report on aggressive bank sales tactics. It cited bankers from a variety of financial institutions, all with similar stories, saying managers pushed workers to meet almost impossible goals and to ignore it when consumers say no. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Dallas.
Wells Fargo says it's getting rid of the retail banking sales goals by the end of the year. Budweiser maker Anheuser-Busch InBev's $100 billion takeover of SAB Miller has cleared its final hurdle. Investors approved plans to merge the world's two largest brewers. Acquiring SAB Miller gives AB InBev a large presence in Africa while increasing its business in South America and Europe. The company combined will control almost a third of the global beer market. And now that CVS is operating Target pharmacies, customers are not keeping their complaints bottled up. They've taken to social media to demand that CVS bring back Target style of red pill bottles that feature color-coded rings and an opening at the bottom. CVS says it's working on designing a new system for dispensing prescriptions.
I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about today, getting a taste of the all-new Fresh Time Farmers Market. We'll tell you more about it when we return here on WKYT.
We have a big-time cold front right on top of the Bluegrass State. Wait until you see the temperature spread showing up. And oh yeah, I'm tracking rain right after the break. Stay here.
Your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Well, hope you're having a good day, and I think that largely depends on the weather in a lot of cases, and depending on exactly where you are, maybe depending on whether or not you're having a good day. Look at the temperature map, and let's show you a major swing. 59 Frankfort, Lexington, 57 Covington, 80 into London, 80 showing up into southeastern Kentucky with upper 70s. Can you find the cold front on this map? Yeah, it's right on top of the area. We've got rain pressing into Lexington right now. Just getting in on some showers here on the east side of town. We're looking toward that western horizon. Skies are getting dark. It's raining to our west, and that front is through it with a northwesterly flow, and the winds are right around 8 miles an hour. The air piling up along that front, producing showers and some thunderstorms. Let's track not a whole lot of true thunderstorms. We've had some embedded rumbles, though, across parts of central Kentucky over the past little bit. Bardstown, E-Town, up into Marion County, Washington County. Hello, Lawrenceburg. Raining? Yeah. Versailles as well, down into parts of Mercer County. Folks from Frankfort to Georgetown getting in on some rain. South of Lexington, so far it's just been an isolated shower or two. Lexington north, yeah, we're pretty much soaked right now. Cynthiana, Georgetown, back over toward the capital. That'll eventually work toward the northeast. Southeast side of Lexington, drops are just now getting into Hamburg. West side of town, it is raining to beat the band on Versailles Road up to the northern part of the area near the Kentucky Horse Park. Northeast from there, rain from Maysville down to Flemingsburg. Carlisle just getting in on some of the heavier bands of rain. Everything as expected going around this low pressure that yesterday was into parts of Michigan. Today, it is sliding to the south. Let's go to tomorrow at this time. Look where that low is, right on top of Lexington. And where does that low go into Friday? Think it's going to move much? There's 8 o'clock Friday morning. How about Friday afternoon? Surely it's going to move a little bit. All right, moves just a smidge into Friday afternoon. Let's take it into Saturday. Let's start the day on Saturday with that low trying to lift its way back to the north. So it started in the north, it headed toward the south, and it slowly meanders back to the north. Rounds of showers, some rumbles of thunder, chilly temperatures, some gusty winds. Model's actually doing a pretty decent job in picking up on the showers and storms today. Look at the lows tonight, where skies try to clear. Some mid and upper 40s will show up. Tomorrow at noon. Look at the numbers here. Mid to upper 50s, only low 60s tomorrow afternoon with some gusty showers and thunderstorms. We go into Friday with that same spin showing up over top of us, likely to see the same weather with a lot of low and mid 60s and the threat for some showers, thunderstorms. It's not going to be all the time. You're going to get a little sun, a little cloud cover, a little bit of rain. That'll carry us right on into Saturday. We look a whole lot better, though, to wrap up the weekend on Sunday. Let's check in with live drive traffic. Could be a little busy with all the rain. Here's Officer Don.
Well, mainly slowdowns this afternoon. There is one collision on the outer loop of the circle around Georgetown, but if you look at traffic flow leaving downtown Lexington, you can see right up Richmond Road near Henry Clay High School over to Man of War. In and outbound Richmond Road slow. So is Nicholas Road. A lot of red outbound approaching Southland Drive out past the mall. As far as drive times go, still keeping an eye on things. About 13 minutes to Nicholasville, 18 to Georgetown, and Paris 22. Now back to you in the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. They say it's a new, healthy, fresh, and organic way to grocery shop. The all-new Fresh Time Farmers Market is now open in Lexington, and our Deanne Stevens is checking it out. She is out and about today. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We're doing a little afternoon shopping here at the all-new Fresh Time Farmers Market. You've probably seen it going up. A lot of people stopping in going, when are you guys going to open? So much excitement about this new concept. Greg Ham is with us. And Greg, what is the Fresh Time Farmers Market all about?
So really, our concept is to bring healthy food and healthy values to the Lexington community. We're really excited to be here, our first store in Lexington.
What exactly does that mean? Healthy food, healthy values, how does that go hand in hand for you guys?
So we at Fresh Time Farmers Market, we offer everything that you would find in a conventional grocery store. So today we're in our food service department where we have a lot of items with cleaner ingredients. Boar's Head meat and cheeses are a featured item in our store. We carry a number of gluten-free items within the department. Salad bar, olive bar, cheese island, everything that you'd find in the conventional stores. So we're truly a real grocery store with all your shopping needs.
And that fresh bread that just came out of the oven, too.
Fresh bread. We have a wonderful vendor partner, Companion Breads, and we carry 16 varieties of fresh baked breads on a daily basis.
It smells amazing in here, that's for sure. Okay, so we're going to make our way through here. We've done a little shopping ourselves, and I see your prices are pretty good, too.
Prices are amazing. We are very aggressive on our pricing. We want everyone to come out and see what we have to offer. Great deals.
And what do we have back here in the butcher shop? Because you said this is pretty unique.
So in our butcher shop, this is a very exciting part of our business. We have a seafood selection out here. We do 8 feet of specialty meat items, as well as 8 feet of store-made sausages, up to 22 varieties on a daily basis.
Wow, and this is we haven't even covered half of this place. Coming up here at 450, the produce, it's what they're known for. It is a beautiful array that we're going to take you through coming up here at 450. Now listen, they're open until 10 o'clock tonight if you want to come check it out yourself, and open again 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So 7 to 10, 7 days a week. And by the way, they're located in the Crossroads Shopping Center. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Fresh Time Farmers Market. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Deanne. A certain style of exercise may be more beneficial to those suffering with type 2 diabetes. That's coming up in Better Living. And more flu cases are popping up in Kentucky. More on what type of vaccine you should get ahead. And tonight's Powerball jackpot is $60 million, and Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $30 million. It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. The number of flu cases in Kentucky is growing. 2 weeks ago, the health department said its suspected flu season was starting earlier this year, as there were already 10 cases in Kentucky. Well, now there are 19 confirmed cases, which is up 15 from last week. Health officials advise that the best way to prevent the flu is by simply getting the flu shot. U.S. researchers say older adults with type 2 diabetes who participate in an interval training exercise regimen can improve their blood flow and blood vessel dilation. The study, published in the American Journal of Physiology, found participants who alternated between periods of high and low intensity exercise with resistance for 20 minutes saw significant improvements to their vascular health. And 57% of college students drink highly caffeinated energy drinks, and most of them combine it with alcohol. That's according to a new study from the University of Maryland. Researchers found habitual energy drink consumption was associated with more frequent drunk driving. All right, let's head over to Chris for another check of the weather. And Chris, this dreary weather is moving in on us.
It really is, and it's all about exactly where you are right now, to whether or not you have a little pep in your step or you're kind of maybe cranking up a pot of chili on the stove. Let's look at London. It's 80 and sunny. Southeastern Kentucky, we said yesterday, it'd be way late in the day, likely to the evening, before rains got into town. 80 and sun in London. 59 with rain in Lexington. Look how wet it is into Frankfort at 59 degrees. Moorhead, front is on top of you. Give it another half hour or so, maybe 45 minutes. Rain should begin to kick into high gear, and that is spiraling around that big upper level low that is right on top of the Ohio Valley. That bad boy is sinking to the south. We'll track that for the rest of the week. Just ahead, a WKYT News at 4:30 that starts right now.